All right, we're doing it. This is take 2, but no one needs to know that because the first take we're going to delete and it's not going to matter. I think we've done this. I think we've done this. I'm excited. Guess what?
What?
I fucking Googled it and then I clicked on the link. You have to open Zoom in your browser and in the settings section in Zoom, allow streaming of meetings.
Okay.
And now we're fucking good to go, I think.
All right. Well, why don't you fucking do it then? Do you want me to do it or you do it?
No, I can do it. I can just send it hard and true.
Yeah. All
right. Zoom. God, I hope this is not going to...
It'll open up a browse window and you're going to say Boston the Brewer episode 39 and say, hello.
Hello.
Frank Walker here from National Tar.
I'm just hitting yes to everything. I'm not exactly sure what I'm
you're going to have to share it. Don't share it to your timeline. You're going to share it to the group.
Well, that's the thing. Share to... Oh, here we go. Yeah, share to a group. Oh, look at that. That's
don't forget to give it a good name and everything.
Oh, I see. So you got to do the Boston Brewer.
Episode 39?
39.
Hello, Frank Walker here from National Tiles. There you go.
So, yeah, I'm just going to say first live call because all this audio that we're capturing right now is going to be on the audio feeds where all 12 people listen to it. So let's not make it too horrible for people.
Oh, well, there you go. Are we live yet?
Oh, we're so live. Oh, wait. Oh, you mean on Facebook? No, definitely not. Okay. All right. I pressed go live.
Yeah.
It says preparing to live stream.
Oh, the meeting is being live streamed.
Oh, like that? Oh, it says leave meeting.
Okay. Got it. I'm not leaving.
Don't leave. This was a
and so you should see in that browser window all the comments and shit. So is that a glass of red wine?
Sure is. I just say I just cooked steak for dinner. And I didn't want to have a beer because I've got all these beers here for the show and then glass of red wine. Okay, so what's happening right now? We've got the Zoom happening.
You stream on Facebook.
I think it's
we're there. We should be there.
We're right. We're there. That's amazing. So
here we are. I'm there. I can see myself.
Wait, if people trash us and shitpost, where do we see those or we don't?
You see it in the live chat.
In our chat on here?
No. In the live chat, you have to look at your browser window that you started.
Oh, the browser window. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's good. I can work with that.
So you look after that and I'll just do my thing.
Okay, well, why don't you say hello to everyone? And
hello. Walker here from National Tiles.
Very good.
I wonder if anyone's saying anything yet. Anyway, whatever. How are you?
Oh, good. Yeah, good. I don't know where to look. I've got you, and then I've got the Facebook live chat, and then I've got the show notes.
You need to have like two monitors. Don't you have 2 monitors?
No, I've only ever just had a little laptop.
You need to fucking get up with the technology.
No, I like
you're supposed to be some technology fucking mega baron or something.
No, I had this. I bought this iMac 5 years ago, this gigantic computer, and I've just never found a use for it. I just keep giving it to people. I have no use for it.
Yeah.
All I need is a laptop. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Have you got a beer?
Yes, I do. We've got sponsored beer.
We do.
What do we got here?
We got a message on the live thing.
Oh, do we? What did it
say?
From
Paul Simpson. It says boom.
Boom.
How good.
Absolutely. Hello, Paul. I'm going to try
said that with the Frank Walker voice, I feel like. Hello, Paul.
Hello, Paul. Here's my beer this week. I've got the All In Brewing Company Pale Ale. Nice. Thank you to Gilly, Luke Phillips from All In for dropping by this week. He dropped them at the door because I was in ISO. Thank you, COVID. And so I've got this All In Pale Ale. What do you got after you finish your glass of wine?
Luke Phillips he used to be a Ballistic and Newstead.
Ballistic, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I saw that he left his business card, which was nice.
He is kind of like the chief operations officer, I think his business card says now.
Nice. What kind of glass are you working with over there? I didn't see it.
I've got the Adzi Clean Helios glass.
Guest host.
There we go. Have a look at that. Look at that.
Disgustingly dirty. Oh, there you go. That looks pretty good.
It's not too bad. Let's have a look here. Yeah. Fuck yeah. I'd drink that.
Tastes like a
Wow.
pale ale.
I have to give a big up to All In on this one because that this is a massive improvement on the last time I tried the beer. Massive improvement. Clearly that there's been a lot of work going into the quality of the beer there, and that is very drinkable. And that won't be my last All In beer. That's really good.
Won't be your last on this episode, or won't be your last in your life?
Well, possibly, because I've got 3 of the fucking things here, but
yeah.
But last time my standards around beer are pretty high, and my last experience with All In beer wasn't that great, but this is amazing. That's a great beer.
Very good. Yeah. I've got an All In as well. I just realized looking at the date, this one's a couple of months old, so we'll see. But the other ones were really fresh because I thought I must have only looked at the other 2 and they were super fresh.
This one's 3 weeks old, 16th of June.
I picked out the one that's 2 months old, which is not all that smart, but I'm going to send it because I'm a bit of a sucker for a hazy IPA, and the 1.8 Standos is what we want. I like the gold lids. That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. What have you got? The anniversary experience?
No, just the normal JF
regular hazy IPA.
Oh, that smells quite good. Smell that even without smelling it.
Oh, that looks hazy too.
She's thick. Smells good.
If you're on 1.2 speed.
Nice. Yeah.
Good.
Juicy. In the spirit
it's a
of
2-month-old hazy IPA, and it's good.
Huh. Yeah, that's 2 months old, still juicy. Tastes good.
Well done. Go all in. I'm impressed. That's what I love about breweries, right? Is like, if you're starting out as a in a brewing company and that sort of thing, and a lot of the clients that I deal with, they have like this unreasonable expectation that they want to be the top tier brewery on the very next batch. And it's like, that's not how it works. It's like, and it's a journey, not a destination. And, you're still going through it. It's like, as long as your next batch is better than your last batch and you're on an upward trajectory, that's the best you can hope for.
Yeah.
Because quality is a journey that just doesn't end. It's like
100%. And this is All In must be one of almost the first of the kind of current existing breweries in Brisbane, wouldn't they be? Like, they're definitely up there.
Oh, oldest, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember them being there. Actually, I might have told the story in here before, but the night we launched Eggnog Stout, it wasn't when we launched it, but it was when we had it on tap at Woolly Mammoth. We didn't know much about the industry, but that was 2014. End of 2014. And we went to Woolly Mammoth, and me and Eddie were just like excited to drink our own beer from a commercial venue. And the All In guy, which I should remember his name, which you will remember his name.
Harley?
Yes, Harley. He was there at the venue, and we were like, that's the dude from All In. And we like went up to him and annoyed him. Like, we were drinking eggnog out of like 1 liter steins, and we probably had a few too many, but we were excited that this like actual commercial brewer was there. And that's 8 years ago. And I mean, awesome. It wasn't like they were new then. They were probably 10 years old then.
Is anyone watching us on Facebook?
Well, I mean, oh my God, look at all these questions. Jesus. This is too much, Hendo. How am I supposed to fucking manage this?
Sorry, you should have let me do it.
No, well, I think because I have seen this done well, and I don't suggest we're going to do it well. I suspect we probably won't do it well.
Well, that's us, though. There's only 12 people listening anyway, so.
That's true. But when I have seen it done well, it's like people tend to record a reasonably cohesive podcast despite of the shenanigans that are going on online.
That's not us.
That's not us?
That is not us.
Okay. All right. Let's look at it.
You should keep it windowed there so you can sort of see what's going on. So we can
keep a window because I've only got one small fucking screen, mate.
In real time. Well,
unless I don't look at you, which actually
buy a fucking monitor.
Oh, there we go. I can make you little. I'll make you back to being a little schoolboy again. I like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Good. Okay.
I'm a little schoolboy.
Naughty little Hendo. There you are. Oh,
All right, what do you got, legend? What's on? What are we talking about tonight?
Well, should I read through these comments? I don't know what to.
Just
Okay.
read the top.
The last comment is, I'm watching through Facebook.
Fucking sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh my God. I really hope
that's like
people got something better to do
my
than
grandfather used to go, hello, I'm talking to you on the telephone.
Yes. That's exactly what just happened. Okay, close that. Bring me mini Hendo over here. Here we go. This is good. All right. Well, if there's still people on when we got the 12 questions, we can basically do it live, right?
We can do it live. Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Okay. First of all, well, no, actually, we've already done sponsored beers, but I just thought call to action, and this is in the news, but we normally try and do a call to action at the start of the show, and I thought this show would make sense for us to make the call to action to complete the Beer Cartel craft beer survey.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
which is
absolutely.
also a news item.
Talk about finger on the pulse of the Queensland craft beer scene. The Beer Cartel craft beer survey is a great report and infographic and that sort of thing that they come up with, and it really helps the industry gauge where things are going. And this year is really interesting because there's non-alc has been touched on in there.
Yep.
Which country was, do you buy beers from? And of course, that is the Netherlands, where Hollandia comes from.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. Yeah.
Favorite brewery, Brew.
Yeah.
What did you put as your favorite brewery?
I think I did the thing that I used to do on Untapped, which is every time I had a beer that we made, I gave it 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just didn't answer any questions relating to anything else and just made it completely biased.
Yeah.
I did that.
Who's your favorite brewery that's not Black Hops?
Favorite brewery? I'll give a completely honest answer. Like if I go into the bottle shop and if I'm likely to buy anything that's not Black Ops, it would probably be Bolter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. It's go-to. It's at every bottle shop on the Goldie. And
yep. It's always pretty fresh. Basically every beer they make is solid.
Yep.
Looks good, tastes good.
Yep. Yep.
And it's a good price. And that's, yeah, it's I don't know, maybe not for this episode, but we talked about this a bit last episode, just the fact that the whole kind of supporting independent thing is just becoming such a stretch for people.
Yes.
It's just, yeah, people want a good product at a good price. That's really what people want.
That's it. Yeah. And you got to be 100% honest about that, So yeah. Oh, well, that's good.
All right. So that's the call to action. And I'm glad that they sent out a thing. I don't know if you saw it a couple of months ago where they're looking for feedback on the survey and like kind of what to do this time, because they didn't do it last year. And Richard said to me in an email, like, we're thinking about just doing like lots of questions about COVID and how people are responding to COVID and all of that. And I was like, please don't do that. Like no one wants to fucking hear that. No one wants to talk about it. So I was happy that there was only one question in there about COVID.
Yeah. Like how it changed your drinking habits and.
Yeah. And the non-alc thing will be interesting. I mean, surveys, I feel like surveys generally, you got to be really careful how much you read into them, but this one's always been interesting, I think. And the non-alc
it's been very, very well run survey, well executed. Yeah. I love how they engage all the breweries to get their fans to, fill out the survey and bring some more data to it. Because the more data, the better, obviously.
Yeah.
You should totally go and fill it out. How does one go and fill out the survey?
Well, you go to
Beer Cartel survey.
Yeah, Google Beer Cartel survey, fill it in. I can put
is that all you got to do?
Hey?
It's easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can put it in the show notes because I'm the one who does all the work around here. And after giving Dwayne shit for his comment on Facebook, we've had no more comments.
Really?
Yeah. which is
Oh, well, easy come,
serves us
easy
right.
go.
Yeah. All right, beer cartel survey. Fill that in. What else was I was going to say something else? I don't know. Oh no, I was going to ask you, what do you think what are you expecting as a response to the non-out question?
Well, I think this is the first time they've asked the question about non-alc, haven't
Yes.
they? So to be fair, I don't really have any expectations. Ask me that question next year.
Why?
There's no base to sort of, there's nothing to base it off. So
yeah. But do you think like the responses were something like, like I haven't had a non-alc beer this month. I've drunk non-alc beer every day type thing. Like
to be fair, I just approach it from I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious. And I have no expectation because it's the first time that the punters have been asked about non-alc beer. That's why, but I'm excited to learn, what people have to say. And I think this might be this survey, and the results of the survey might be the thing that drives a lot of breweries to maybe go down the path of doing non-alc.
Yeah, I think so too. Although I kind of feel like every brewery is doing it anyway. Like every email I get, it's a new brewery is doing a non-alc beer. But yeah, I'm super intrigued.
It's going to happen until someone gets salmonella.
Right. All right. Okay. Bridge Road and Akasha crowdfunding wrap up. We sort of have.
Sweet.
We sort of have wrapped it up, but
so what was the final numbers there?
The final numbers was Akasha raised 1.749 million out of a $2 million target.
Wow.
Bridge Road raised
1.49
out of a $2.5 million target. So Akasha
raised more money.
Akasha raised more money at a much more generous valuation, depending on how you determine value. But their valuation was, I think, a lot more realistic.
What was the total valuation of each of the breweries on that basis of the crowdfunding?
The total raised or the total valuation?
No. The total, the valuation that they placed on each brewing company.
Well, Bridge Road was 52 million. Akasha, I think it was something like, I probably should know this. I think it was something like 25. Let me have a look. It was 14. So their turnover was, what's their turnover here? It doesn't say it on this summary page, but $14 million for Akasha, 52 million for Bridge Road. Let's make sure I got that right. I really don't want to fuck that piece of information up. Which is super interesting. Super interesting. And neither of them hit the target.
So neither hit the target.
But Akasha were pretty close, like kind of painfully close.
$50
million pre-money valuation for Bridge Road.
And only 14 for Akasha.
Yeah.
And Akasha raised 1.75 million.
Yeah. I've been having a lot of conversations with people about crowdfunding lately. It's becoming a really, really interesting thing. But to summarize the overall result, the result was that we said, how much will they raise between them? You said 4 million. I said the maximum, which was, I think, 4.5.
Yes.
The answer was 3.25.
Who got the closest?
We have Daniel Pinto. Oh, sorry. No, the total was 3.247. Yes. And we have Daniel Pinto said 3.25.
Pinto.
So close.
Awesome. He's one of my students, man. What a legend.
Pinto for the win.
Yeah, good on you, Pinto.
And his name comes up in that Offspring song from the 90s, which is cool too. Maybe the 2000s. I'm sorry. I had to.
Do you know why, though?
Because he was cruising in a Pinto and he saw homies as he passed.
Pinto's a car. It's a type of car.
I know that. It was
it's like a lowrider.
Yeah. Well, good on you, Pinto.
Yeah, on your Pinto.
Seems like I've just
what does he win?
He wins a shirt.
Yeah, sweet.
He'll have to let us know the size because I think I've only got larges left. But anyway, whatever. It's free.
I'll send him a message. Let's see. Where are you, Pinto?
Phil Sharp just saw on Facebook that future magic, and that was the end of the comment. The fuck does that mean?
Great. That's great. Oh, there is. There's Pinto.
I just said go on. All right. So, any thoughts on the crowdfunding?
Oh, look, I am surprised that those breweries did not reach their maximums, and I'm pretty sure you would be too, since that's what you bet on.
Yes, but I bet on that before seeing the valuations and before seeing the videos and everything else. It was kind of like at the EOR
stage. Fuck off with your excuses.
Nah, $52 million is a cooked valuation for Bridge Road, in my opinion.
For Bridge Road? Yeah, I would agree with that.
Akasha, yeah, it's still $2 million at the end of the day. Like, it's every person that invests are investing their own money. It's real people, real money. They're making decisions about investment. It's a lot of money to raise, and it's probably not the best time to be raising money either. You know, like 6 months ago, a year ago, everyone was all bullish. They had all the government money, and everywhere.
Now we've got interest rates rising, and you know, talk of a recession.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Phil finished his comment. We're doing the 12 questions before. We might get more questions from the live thing than we get on 12 questions, which is normally like 0.
What did he say?
Future Magic apparently about to launch on virtual, and they haven't even opened yet, have they? They're the ones opening in next to BH3.
Really?
Question: can a new brewery raise enough money through? Okay, let's come back to that question for 12 questions. But yeah, that's interesting. All right. BrewDog James Watt interview. You probably didn't have enough time to listen to this, did you?
I did start listening to it, and on 1.25 speed.
Yeah.
But I only got about third to halfway through it.
Okay.
Look, I got to the point where he was talking about his background, his history, a lot of the marketing, some of the mistakes he made, like doing pink IPA and all that sort of stuff, and how a lot of that stuff was misconstrued. That's as far as I've gotten at the moment. That's James Watt. You know, he says it outright. You know, he's a marketing guy. He's an entrepreneur. Very interesting that he said he was talking about himself being. He said all entrepreneurs are very solo kind of people, and you know, or I didn't say on the spectrum or anything like that, but he did sort of say that they tend to do things by themselves and that sort of thing. And
well, do you want me to not spoil it, or do you want to talk about it next week? Because there was a lot more in the second half.
I would like to listen to the rest, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Look, so far it's pretty much James Watt talking about James Watt, and I want to get it. I want to get into the spicier part of it, where he sort of addresses some of the allegations and that sort of thing. Look, what I can glean from it so far is that the early part of BrewDog, which is kind of as far as I've gotten in what he's been speaking about so far, is an excellent story. He's told the story to the point where they did the first Equity for Punks crowdfunding, right? When crowdfunding wasn't even legal, I think in the UK even, you know, and at that point, that was a really innovative thing to do, right? And a lot of the early stuff that they did with beer innovation, with their marketing innovation and all that sort of stuff was pretty cutting edge. And
the content as well. The content was
the content was amazing. Yep.
TV show.
And you know, and it's absolutely spot on. Whether you know, and I'll listen to the rest of it, and whether you know, continuing to do further crowdfunding for over 12 years now. They've been doing continuous equity for punks, you know, fundraising and that sort of thing. You know, that's something that I want to hear more about from him. You know, the BrewDog business, you know, back in sort of the late noughties, early early 2010s and stuff like that. It was a great story, and it was really innovative and really set the scene for a lot of craft breweries. Yourself and myself included.
Yeah, inspiring. I think, like for us,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
And the BrewDog still tells a good story. But that said, though, if you are going to be someone who puts yourself in the limelight, and James says it straight up, he makes itself very clear that he is a marketing person. And if you put yourself in the limelight like that, and I can speak to this firsthand because I've done it myself, you're going to wind up having to face some public scrutiny.
Yeah,
right? That's normal, right? Totally normal. Whether there's any truth to the matter, well, there is two sides to every story. And so what I would propose, mate, is let me listen to the rest of it, because I'm actually finding it really interesting and really engaging.
Yeah.
I just even at 1.25 speed, I just ran out of time.
You had to do 2 point. How fast does the setting go? I've never experimented.
I can't go faster than 1.2. Everyone sounds like a fucking chipmunk, right?
All right, that's fair.
And then let's talk about that more next week.
Yeah.
And because there are some controversial topics that I want to hear him address, and I want to keep an open mind about it. And also there's two sides to every story. I've got an idea for a couple of weeks from now, depending on how old mate goes in the podcast episode, that sort of thing. So on how we can keep ourselves get both sides of the story. I've got an idea.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I finished it this afternoon. Like, to be honest with you, I started listening to it and I had to stop it a bunch of times, because I normally listen to podcasts when I'm home and I'm away from work. And if they remind me too much of work and things are stressful at work, I will put something else on that's just stupid and entertaining. And this one in particular, I found such a fucking engaging roller coaster of a podcast. Like, I love podcasts. I love the format of them. Like, I'll drive to work listening to a podcast, and I'll like talk to the fucking car when the guy says something, like argue with what's happening on the podcast. Like, that's how engaged I get with them. And this one was just a fucking roller coaster. It was like a movie. It was like a movie. So I don't want to talk about it too much because you haven't listened to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to lose what's fresh in my mind. And one thing that I felt through, like, you've listened to the first half, and it was more in the first half than the second, I thought, was just how polished the storytelling is. And like, I kind of learned this lesson once. I used to do public speaking, like, where I wrote a couple of books, and then I thought, okay, when you write a book, you go and you do speaking at conferences, right?
Sure.
So I did a couple, and I was like, oh, it's kind of what you do. But then eventually I realized I didn't like it, so I didn't do it anymore. But I did probably 10 maybe. And I did a big one on the Gold Coast. Actually, I did one in Melbourne and one on the Gold Coast. I did one in Melbourne, and the person that was speaking next to me was working for an Australian company that was like one of those companies that donates like a percentage of profit to, an organization if you buy their product, like their physical product. Yeah. I don't want to say which one it was, but there's a few of these businesses out there.
Sure.
And she spoke and she told this story, and I was like, this is like amazing. You guys are epic. This is unbelievable. And then I spoke at the next conference a few months later on the Gold Coast, and the founder of the company was speaking, and he was speaking before me. So I was petrified. Like, he was really polished and I'm just not. And he just told the story almost word for word that she'd told. And people were like throwing money at this guy. He's like, give us some money to donate to this cause. And people are like giving him money at the end of this thing. And I was like, this story is so polished. There's something that just doesn't feel, it's too polished.
Too polished.
You know what I mean?
Is that how you felt about James's story?
A little
too polished?
bit, yeah. Like, that first half, it was sort of like every single thing he said had an anecdote and a cliche and a really polished, comfortable story that was, some of these stories are quite old, like, like the stories of them starting out. I know that's what you do on a podcast. They ask you how things started out, but I don't know. I just like the first half.
Wow,
Are
you getting a little bit BrewDog
No,
skeptical there, mate?
Like I said, it was like a roller coaster. I was up and down the whole time. Sometimes I was like, I can relate to this, like I can't relate to anything. It was unbelievable, especially towards the end. But some of the story stuff, it was like, it's too polished. It's just too perfect.
But the thing is that James what makes out, and he 100% said it right at the start of the episode. He says, I'm a marketing person. I'm all about the marketing message. And that's what you got.
But
like he does what he says on the
tin. Marketing, yeah, but I guess when it's that polished, is like, is it made up? That's the thing. Like if you've got a history of kind of being a little bit dishonest around things, how do you know what's true? And if it's a really polished story, you just start thinking like, I don't know, it's almost just a bit too good to be true.
You're right. It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's talk about it next week.
Let's
the
talk
second
about it
half
more next week.
is really intense. He does seem to be genuine, and a lot of the stuff in the second half when he talks about, kind of like being the CEO and what that's like, and like it's not a fucking good job a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could imagine what his job would be like a day-to-day of being the boss of this gigantic company,
having 3,000 staff and all that sort of thing. And yeah. But thanks to Damien from BrewDog for bringing that to our attention, and it's a good listen. So we might put that in the show notes. Dan,
yeah, it's
Angus on the live chat
podcast.
said, "Is rehearsed the word you're looking for?" Too rehearsed. Yeah,
and that's the thing. I mean, these stories, they're probably true. He's probably told them so many times. It's the same as ours.
The story becomes
Like literally today we did the same thing. We had the guys from Coles in. We walked around the brewery. We told the story of how we started the brewery, and it was like, 3 mates are in the garage. We're making it. It's all fucking true. But if someone's listening to it, they're probably thinking, this just sounds like every other brewery. It's probably, you're probably stretching the truth on some of these things. It's, it probably wasn't as hard as you thought. It probably wasn't as much of a guess as you thought. It probably wasn't that long ago, but it's all true. It's just, you've told it so many times, you get better at telling it, and it kind of feels a bit rehearsed. So it could literally could just be that.
Yep. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah, and it
could be continued.
Gets better towards the end too.
Okay. I will listen to that most definitely.
Yeah. All right. Konvoy acquires Portuguese Onalytics. Did you have a look at this one?
Yes, I did.
So you know this Adam Tripp-Smith fella, don't you?
Yeah. Adam Tripp-Smith. He owns all of the old Brewcult IP and that sort of thing, and top operator. I have to say, ATS is very well known in the industry. Bit of history about ATS. He started. He was originally involved in Vale Brewing. Started Vale Brewing. He then went on. He sold that and went on to start Kegstar.
Yeah.
Which was the first keg rental company in Australia. Solved a massive problem that breweries had. This is real entrepreneurship. There was a problem that breweries couldn't grow because they didn't have the capital to be able to buy a keg fleet, and then having to return kegs back and all that sort of stuff. He said, I'm going to be a bit disruptive, solve that problem, started Kegstar, sold Kegstar, I think for $30 million to Brambles, had a no-compete clause for, I think it was 3 years sunset period, took 2 years off, spent another year getting everything ready for Konvoy, and started a competitor to the company that he started and flipped.
That's insane.
And fixed all of the...
how do you do that?
I think he learnt a lot of lessons with Kegstar, and some of the technology things, right? And hence the reason for this purchase, right? One of the key things with Kegstar that was a real inhibitor, detractor about it was the keg scanning. So basically, when you used Kegstar kegs, every keg had a QR code on it, and then you had to have the app. And every time the keg got moved, so from the brewery to the third-party logistics warehouse, it had to get scanned to that location.
Yeah.
And then when it went from the third-party logistics warehouse to the venue to get tapped, had to get scanned again by the 3PL. And because that was a manual process, kegs didn't get scanned and got lost, and then breweries would get charged for slow keg fees or lost keg fees and all that sort of thing. And so what he's done now in this iteration is to become more integrated in the keg rental space. So you've got Konvoy, which does the keg rental. You've got Keg Services, which Konvoy bought from, was originally attached to Bintani.
Yeah. What do they do?
And so that's part of Keg Services, part of Konvoy now, which is interesting because Keg Services were doing all the keg repairs and maintenance and all that sort of stuff for Kegstar's kegs. So now he's got his competitor as a client. Right? It's fucking smart, eh?
I don't know. The whole thing seems strange to me.
And then no. And then you get into the technology. So Konvoy has a sister company called Catch, right? With Catch with a K. Okay. Now Catch is this is the technology wing behind Konvoy. It's an Internet of Things company that does the little black box on the Konvoy kegs. So one of the things that Konvoy solved that Kegstar at the time didn't was getting rid of the scanning thing. Nobody liked it. The 3PLs hated it. The breweries hated it. They just wanted to just pick up the phone, have kegs delivered, and fucking send them out the door.
Yeah.
Right. And then getting those kegs recovered was that's Konvoy or Kegstar's problem. That's how they make their money, right?
But that scanning thing, right? When all this happened, Konvoy came out and said, we're a company that has an automated tracking system. And before I finish what I'm going to say, it's not that uncommon for companies to come out and be a little bit ahead of their own technology in terms of let's get some customers and let's make the technology follow after. But when we trialed out Konvoy, they kind of got all the Kegstar staff, and then we kind of knew them all, and they said all right, well, let's try Konvoy. I was like, oh cool, it'll be all automated. We're not have to scan anything, everything will be tracked. And they just sent us a bunch of kegs and we just sent them out, and that was it. They didn't have tracking devices on them at all. There was zero tracking.
Yes.
And it was just exactly the same as Kegstar, except that you didn't have to scan it because they weren't tracking anything.
Yes. And that's technology that they brought online later.
No, but that was the whole selling point. That was the whole
exactly
Konvoy.
Yeah. And they knew when they started that they didn't have the technology to be able to track the kegs, but they went, you know what, fuck it. We'll just send the kegs.
Amazing.
And we're just going to send them untracked. We'll figure that out later.
Amazing.
I love it.
Startup shit.
It is some startup shit. Right? Just make it work. Just start and break shit. I love that. And they did that, and it probably cost them a few kegs. They probably lost a couple hundred kegs, whatever. Yeah. But worth it. They got up and running and that sort of thing really quickly, and they solved that problem really quickly. And breweries really gravitated towards it, and it forced Kegstar to go down the same path of keg tracking. So your Konvoy kegs, what they have now, instead of scanning, they have a little black box welded to the top of it. And in that is a battery that lasts about 7 years. It hooks into the mobile phone network, and it's got GPS attached to it. So Konvoy can see in real time where all of the kegs are, and it tracks a lot of telemetry about the kegs. Do you know the telemetry that's tracked in a Konvoy keg?
I do not.
It tracks the location, the temperature, and the orientation of the keg. I think it tracks the orientation of the keg. Okay.
Temperature of what? Outside temperature?
No, the temperature of the device.
The device, yeah.
Okay. right? So now you're sort of collecting this data, and I think they ping into home twice a day, right? So you think about the life of a keg, right? And what sort of, and so it's in Konvoy's interest to make sure that kegs aren't sitting at venues, that they're collected as quickly as possible and put back in the pool so they can be rented out again. That's how you make money in the keg rental business, all right?
Well,
Because if a keg's sitting at a pub out the back empty, right, then it's not making money.
that's true. But yeah.
Right. And so all of a sudden they're starting to collect all this telemetry, right? And all of a sudden they can start to bring in some analytics, maybe AI, I don't even know, of what does an empty keg look like? So people don't have to pick up the phone to Konvoy and say, hey, I've got kegs here. Can you come pick them up? So that they know proactively where to go to pick up kegs. So
wait, so
knowing what you know about
it knows they're empty. It doesn't. It wouldn't know they're empty.
Well, use the data. Use the data, right? So using the data of location, temperature, and orientation, how do you know a keg is empty?
I see what you're saying.
So what does a keg usually? What does a publican usually do when he has an empty keg?
Chucks it out the back upside down.
Fucking oath he does. All of a sudden, the orientation's upside down and the keg is warmer.
Okay. So it sounds good.
So now what you can do is, instead of people having to call up Konvoy and having someone on the phone or saying, come get my kegs, they can use the data to go empty keg here, empty keg here, empty keg here, and go and get them back in the pool. And all of a sudden you're not having to tip in more money on capital to be able to buy a bigger fleet of kegs, because you're being more efficient with the fleet that you got.
Yeah. Assuming they've got a good solution for actually picking them up and reusing them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And that's always that would be, I don't know the Konvoy business, but I suppose that would be a thing you would be constantly working on as an efficiency improvement. But again, they just start and launch and figure it out, break it, figure it out later. We should get him on the show. He's fascinating to talk to.
I'd love that. Because he also started the brewery, didn't he? That white.
He's also started White Bay Brewing as well. Yeah. So you've met ATS. You'd love him. You guys.
I've not met him. I've not met him.
Really?
No.
He is a 100% entrepreneur like you, mate. You guys would get along like a fucking house on fire.
No, I've seen his name and seen all the stuff he's done.
All business. Yeah. He has the best, most what's the best way to put it? He has a very gentle nature about him. Right. He's a business person. He's a go-getter, but when you talk to him, he is calm and contemplative. Interesting. And he's an amazing guy. 100% well worth talking to.
Oh, that's cool.
And you can see that he's always ticking over business in his head and that sort of thing. And he has a real sort of sense of abundance about him. You need to have that kind of mindset and stuff like that. Yeah. And because when he was thinking about starting Konvoy, was when sort of Brew Cult went under and we were on the phone talking and that sort of thing. And he's like, I want to start a brewing company. I don't know if I want it to be a contract brewery. I don't know if I want it to be, a retail company, but I'll start a brewery.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I want to get back into the keg thing. And he just plays around with it in his mind, and he'll just execute, and if it doesn't work, he'll adapt, and very, very good operator. So Konvoy now operating in Australia, New Zealand, and I think a little bit of Europe. But where do you think the growth is?
America.
What do you know about keg rental in the US?
No, I know the weird distribution arrangements that they have over there.
Well, they have the 3-tiered system, but talking about keg rental. So keg rental has existed for a very long time in the US. The only player is a company called MicroStar. Okay. And MicroStar basically operate this massive keg fleet right across the country that sort of has done that. And they've done it without keg tracking for over 10 years, probably longer. I'm not sure how long MicroStar have been around. And so this acquisition of this Portuguese company basically brings the Internet of Things black box to a keg, but under technology that can be used in the US. And I think that unlocks a piece of technology for them that they need for Konvoy to be able to expand into the US.
Nice. All right. Well, it's good news then. Can I? Well, wait. Before I do this, I want to get another beer. So, here, I'll
you
leave,
getting?
Well, I got this anniversary one.
Hey, well, before you go, if you're on the watching the Facebook Live, just write a comment or something to say, "Well, Dan's away getting a beer," and I'll respond to it. I know there's a bit of a lag.
How do you tell if there's anyone watching this?
Well, it says up in the top corner there are 6 people watching.
Oh, you poor people. Where's it say that?
And there's the live chat, and I can see the live chat, and it's actually live chatting in real time because I could see the Angus Grant.
Oh, there we go. You got a question already. All right. So
yeah,
wait, where are you seeing
the
6 people watching? On the Zoom or on the?
There we go. There's people. There's Dwayne Thomas and there's Angus Grant again.
Where does it say 6 people?
Up on the screen where the video is, up the top left, it says 6.
Oh, you press play on the video?
No, I didn't press play. I think it's just 6.
I don't see.
That's
6.
half of 12, by the way.
It's a multiple. Well, it's not a multiple. It's a division of 12. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'll leave you with the questions.
Okay. So Dwayne Thomas says, "How are you, Dwayne? Good to see you, mate. I read a while ago that they were looking to use one-way disposable recyclable kegs. Maybe it's not. I don't think so. To be fair, I knowing ATS, he's always been into keg rental, not one-way kegs, and one of the selling points about Konvoy is that it is a better environmental footprint in that a brewery doesn't need to worry about return freight. What the fuck is that shirt?
My non-red. No, the red flannel is out of action because there's been no dry hopping.
Well, what does the grey flannel mean when you're wearing the grey flannel? If your red flannel is a dry hopping flannel.
No, this is not work related. This is
that your CIP flannel? No,
it's not work related at all. This is just what I wear at home. It's different.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. How's all the flannels people are posting in the group?
It's great. That's great. I've got to get a red flannel, and that's awesome.
You know, what have we got I'm sure. Have we thought of this? We need to do red flannels as merch. Why the fuck haven't we done that?
Oh, well, let's get on the phone to
Thirsty Merchants. Help us out.
Oh yeah, or Paul Metcalf.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do that. He's one of the 12. So Dwayne, to answer your question, I don't think that they were going to go down that path. Keg rental, to the best of my knowledge. Konvoy website has 0% tech info. My anti-marketing shoulder is twitching.
Okay, can I add to that comment there from Angus?
Yeah.
This is the comment that's in the press release, and I know because you've just given them a huge rap, Hendo, and I'm not saying either way, but I just want to read you this comment from the press release, okay?
Yeah.
To customers around the world, what this means is that they will have faster access to an affordable and reliable technology that can provide extraordinary results in a short amount of time and help their businesses thrive.
All right, that's fluff.
Come on. What the fuck does that mean? Come on.
That is fluff.
What the fuck does that mean?
That is fluff.
Okay. All right.
Very good. Very good.
All right.
Look, very disruptive company, run by a good bunch of people. There's an amazing team there. All of the Konvoy crew, great bunch of people.
I love that, Hendo. I love the positivity. This can is fucking awesome. So it says congratulations on 9 years. So 2014.
That the bit
must be
next
more
year
than
I'm
9 years
drinking as
old,
well.
right?
The coloured one.
Can we Google how old All In Brewing is? I would assume.
I'm going to guess that the number 9 experimental anniversary hazy IPA kind of gives it away, Broseph.
But 9 years is 2013.
Yeah.
So literally the year before I'm talking about when we started, a year before us.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought they were way older than that.
Obviously not.
Okay. I love this can, by the way. That is fucking cool.
Great.
Look at that. That's sick.
Can. All right, let's have a look at this experimental hazy IPA.
23rd of June.
There you go. Great head retention.
Nice.
What's in it? Oh, that's interesting. It's our birthday again, 9 years old. We have so much fun along the way with lots of hijinks and tomfoolery.
Is
So
hijinks should
celebrate
be
with us.
capitalized there? Why is that capitalized? I feel like
Well,
that
if
should
you're
be
going to do
lowercase.
hijinks, you may as well capitalize it.
Okay.
3
tomfoolery
types of
shouldn't be
experimental
capitalized?
hops from Yakima Chief. HBC 586.
IPA should be capitalized, shouldn't it? Why is IPA lowercase and hijinks uppercase?
Maybe that's the hijinks.
Good answer. All right. Yakima Chief. I fucking
Here
love
we
that
go.
can.
About
That's
it.
awesome.
Oh, hang on. I
That
think
looks
Angus
sick.
has copy pasted the All In Brewing website. It says since 2012, our beers have been made.
Okay, so maybe they were doing like what we were
Oh,
doing.
wait, hang on a second. It says our full flavored ales, lagers, and everything in between are made with care and without trickery. So, what is it? Is it tomfoolery or no
hijinks
trickery?
or trickery or what? Make your mind up.
Fuck's sake.
2012. That's 10. Yeah, it makes more sense. Fuck, we're fucking old. I'm old, aren't I? This is crazy.
Yeah, you look it too.
Thank you.
Did I say that or think that?
Think it. All right, scooter update, Hendo. You put this on the fucking agenda. So normally what happens is a sensible person does all the research for the show, puts together all the show notes, and then we get to the live show and I notice there's 4 or 5 other fucking stupid things on there and that I didn't put on there.
I've put them there. Exactly.
Someone put them on there.
Now, are you aware of the scooter?
What aspect of the scooter? Yes. No, I listened to your stupid episode and the scooter gang and all that bullshit. Yes.
Yeah. Well, no, I've got a scooter.
The one downstairs?
Yes.
You stole it?
I haven't stolen it. I checked with the police.
Okay.
And it didn't belong to the former owner.
Oh, didn't?
But it's not reported stolen. So I have to go through I want this scooter, right? And so basically there is a way that you can claim abandoned property and that sort of thing. And so I'm going to go through that process. I don't know. It's probably, it could go to the fucking tip or I could make something fun out of it.
This is in your car, like car parking area in your unit, right?
In the garage, yeah.
How would it be in there if it wasn't owned by someone from there?
Well, that's right. Well, so I went to the police station to ask them what the process was for an abandoned motor vehicle, because effectively that's what it is. And I gave the police the VIN number, the chassis number, and I said, look, here's the chassis number. Can you give me a bit of background? If it belongs to someone, let's give it back to them. I said, I'm 90% sure this belongs to the guy I bought the apartment off and he passed away. And I said the name of the guy who I bought the bought my apartment off. And he said, no, it hasn't been registered for 10 years. Right. And the thing is that scooter is 2012, it's 10 years old. So it's hasn't hardly been registered. And
it's as old as All In.
And exactly. And no, that wasn't, he said, I can't tell you who, but no, it was not that person. And I went, oh, okay. And I said, well, what would I do if I want to acquire this property? And he said, well, there's not really much we can do about it. You're going to have a chat to the Transport and Main Roads, TMR. And I went, oh, okay, no worries. He said, but what I'll do is I'll stick a note against this vehicle to say that you've inquired about it, that you have it in your possession, that you're prepared to give it back to the owner if they come and claim it.
They physically put a note on the scooter.
On the file. No, to put on the file.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Right, against that VIN number.
Yeah.
And so, basically it's basically if the owner does come along and say, hey, you're trying to steal my scooter, I can say, well, no, I'm not, because I'm actually trying to find you. You're the owner.
Right.
And so basically there's a process you have to go through with regards to abandoned property. So, and I think I've got to go put a notice in the paper, public notices, to say that I found this vehicle.
In the paper. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's where you got to put public notices. Where else do you put public notices?
On TikTok.
Well, that's not public notice. What if I'm not
So
following?
how much does it cost you to put that in the paper?
Oh, $10 or something. Just the Brisbane Times or whatever. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
Right. And so you just put a public notice and you say, looking for the owner of this, and then you have a certain period of time that you need to wait, and then you can rightly claim. I mean, people find, barn find cars and all that sort of stuff. And
I think fucking you should. I think there should be a time limit where it's like obviously
there is a time limit.
Yeah,
there is a time limit. There is an act about abandoned property and all that sort of stuff. And
so if no one claims it, it's goes somewhere, or it's just yours because you put your.
Well, if I go through the process of trying to find the owner and I cannot find the owner, then I can say, well, I can either sell it, and legally sell it, or I can acquire it.
Amazing.
Right. And so if the owner rocks up tomorrow and says, hey, I'll have my scooter back, it's like, there you go, mate. No worries.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul to me. But I want to keep it and I want to do it up because scooters are fun as shit. And because at the moment, we're sitting on petrol that's $2.20 a litre. It's about to go to $2.50 a litre when the tax break runs out in September, right? And, the Como, it runs on LPG, which is not, LPG is $1.10 at the moment.
Yeah.
And that's expensive. And I've got the motorbike as well, but scooters fun, like small engines and shit. So what I would like to do with this is I have a vision for this scooter. And if I don't do it with this scooter, I'll go buy one and do this, right? So this scooter is a little 50cc four-stroke. It's slow as shit, right? Slow as buggery. I think top speed's like 53 Ks an hour. Okay.
My fucking electric bike goes faster than that, Hendo.
Yeah,
It doesn't need any petrol.
Yet. And so what I'm going to do is put a 100cc big bore kit in it, and then a sports exhaust and a big 20mm carby in it, right?
Don't try and make it sound like this is going to be a tough vehicle. After
it is not going to be a tough vehicle, but if I can get this thing, I know, but if I can get it to do 85 Ks an hour, how fucking cool would that be to zip through traffic on that?
Not cool at all. You'll fucking die.
I won't die. I ride motorbikes all the time.
Okay.
I mean, admittedly, my motorbike's a 900cc and it goes like as fast as stink.
Okay.
But to do so on an engine that's one tenth the size, there's a challenge in that.
Okay.
And then I'm going to paint it, right? Because it's dark blue at the moment and you can't see that and you want to be visible. So I'm going to change it to probably bright yellow and then put stickers of Roadrunner on it.
Wow. I had a car once I painted yellow and I just did it with that export paint from Super Cheap Auto for $2 a tin. You gonna do that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
And then I'll get personalized plates on it. It says,
well, I wish you all the best. The only thing that surprised me about that story is that you didn't use it as an opportunity to plug Konvoy and say that if only the owner was tracking this scooter with their RFID IoT device, they wouldn't have fucking lost it.
Well, I don't think it existed 10 years ago when the thing was last registered.
Doesn't exist now.
It's just a fun project, I don't know. I like tinkering with that sort of shit. So
right, put a photo in the group.
I'll post some photos of it.
Yeah, put a photo in the group.
What is it? I think Angus Grant says the 12 decorated rat ride scooter or get the fuck out.
I don't know if I support this whole scooter thing. I'm definitely not getting one myself. You know what? When I was listening to that episode with you and Lee and you going on about fucking scooters, literally the time I was listening to it, I was driving up Christine Avenue and I drove past a house with a scooter out the front for sale for like $30 or something. And I was like,
oh, really?
I can get one right now. Yeah, I didn't know because I'm a grown-ass man. But
get a fucking scooter. You live on the Gold Coast. That's the way you get around the Gold Coast.
Yeah, but I'm an adult.
I'm an adult.
All right, what's next on the agenda, Hendo?
I don't know. I'm looking at the live chat. Oh, what do we got? Oh, yeah. How's the Dansion going? It's not a mansion. It's a
Oh, the
Dansion.
Dansion, yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. Yeah. I think it's good. Yeah. Yeah. I've never built a house before, so I don't really know how long it takes, but it's looking pretty good.
The photos look good, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I think everything's because I didn't like because when you build a house with like one of these big builders like Metricon, you normally go around and you look at like inside, it's basically the same as every other house I've ever built. So you kind of look at the virtual tools and you go and look at the display villages and that and kind of be like, okay, that's cool. That's the house I want. But I didn't do that because, well, first of all, there wasn't one of those houses built anywhere near here, so I couldn't actually look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, it was basically the only house that would fit on that land. Like it's a kind of a long, skinny block. It's a very standard block down here, but there's not much. Like Metricon don't build a lot of, actually no one builds a lot of long
skinny houses.
Mm. Yeah. So it was kind of like, this one looks good. I've never even seen it. Send it, pretty much. So
they're still afloat.
Still afloat. Yes, I did see. Yeah, there's yeah. I mean, there's people there working on it. There's the tilings next week. The stones going in for all the bench tops next week. Kitchen's already in there.
Yeah.
It's pretty close, I think.
That's good, man.
Yeah. You know, one thing I did realize, and I didn't think about until now, and I definitely should have, is I don't know how anyone else does this because I've never even had a decent sized house before, and I haven't really had any furniture since I got divorced.
You've never had a Dansion before.
I've never had a Dansion, and I never, like, when I got divorced, I kind of, like, my ex took all the furniture and I had none. And then ever since then, I've just been sort of like borrowing furniture back from her and her family members when I needed it, like just to like have a couch. Like I've got her ex-boyfriend's bed. I've got her mum's couch here. It's just how it's worked out. But when I looked through the house, I was like, there's a lot of fucking rooms in this house.
Yeah, you need furniture, mate.
I need furniture. And then I went to the furniture shop and then I got very fucking nervous because I had no concept of how much fucking money or time, but I don't have.
Which furniture shop did you go to?
I went to Harvey Norman, which I don't think is even an expensive one. Is it?
Stay away from Harvey Norman, and they don't have a great range.
No, I didn't buy anything. I was just like, I had half an hour spare. Fuck me dead. It's so expensive.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
IKEA do pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
You're into it?
Yeah.
It's cheap and cheerful. It does the trick. You know, you don't want anything fancy. But man, you can for your house, you could easily spend 50 to 70K on furniture.
I think, and the rest, man. And
if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
I think more. Fuck, you don't need to. It's fucking furniture. You know. Okay, is all right. And, if anyone has any suggestions about furniture places, let us know either in the chat or in the Facebook group.
I've been on Marketplace. I'm like, I'm just going to fucking find something on Marketplace. I want to find some couch that
I want you to go spend
20 grand on it.
20 grand on Facebook Marketplace on furniture.
20 grand won't even like literally. I went through yesterday with Joy.
No, 20 grand on Marketplace.
It wouldn't be enough. It wouldn't be enough. Like the fucking TVs. We saw a TV yesterday for 17 grand.
Oh, you don't need to spend 17,000.
Oh, no, I don't need to, but I'm just saying.
I've got a mate who's a real that I drink Hollandia with. He's a real audiophile and cinemaphile. He spent 17,000 on a fucking big projector, big laser projector. It's sick. But you certainly wouldn't spend it on TV.
Make now?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The fucking technology.
So you're talking not only furniture, you're talking appliances as well.
Everything. I don't own fucking anything. Like, well, I mean, everything that's built into the house. Like, there's like it comes with like all the shit I've already paid for as part of the build, like the cooktop, oven dishwasher, all that shit. Mm-hmm. But like even a fridge, like the fridges we were looking at, they're $5,000. Like for a decent fridge.
Yeah.
$5,000 for a fridge.
Well, you definitely want a fridge with the ice and cold water dispenser.
Dude, the fridges now have the ice dispenser that dispenses it in like a ball, so you can have a fucking whiskey with the fucking ball ice.
Oh, Negroni, like for Negroni.
It's unbelievable. And like a touch
You're gonna have the fucking
you can touch it,
sickest
tells you
household.
what's in the fridge.
What?
Yeah, like tells you like how much is left of everything. And you touch it and the light turns on, you can see into the fridge.
Huh.
There's all
Right,
kinds
that's
of crazy
impressive.
shit going on.
Go buy it.
No, don't have $5,000.
What's your budget for your furniture then?
0. I don't have one. I did not even think about this until now.
Sit on the fucking carpet then. Have you got carpet or you got tiles?
Wooden
Or
floors
floorboards?
and carpet upstairs.
Mm.
Yeah. No, I'm going to be all over Marketplace, I think. IKEA is a good call. IKEA is a good call. I think I might be spending a bit of time at IKEA.
Got the 12 furniture donation drive for the Dansion.
Yes, good. I will take any couch that has had any kind of ungodly things done on top of it, and I will put it in my house and have my children sit on it, and we will watch Netflix. Thank you. All right. All right. Next one, Hendo. $800 safety glasses, WTF. Not uppercase. Probably should have been uppercase, but you're like all in. You don't care about capital.
Well, you know how I'm getting glasses.
Yeah.
So when I got my prescription glasses, I went and bought prescription safety glasses that are multifocals.
Oh, you did.
$810.
Well, that's a work expense, of course.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So you know how like the glasses places, they have like, you know, your second pair for 50% off and that sort of thing.
I don't know that because I'm extremely young and I can see. So
yeah, rightio. So anyway, you go to some of the optometry places and they do your second pair for 50% off.
Do they?
But it was right towards the end of the financial year, and I said, do you do multifocal safety glasses? And I said, yeah. And I said, well, look at that. And so they quoted me up for multifocal safety glasses, and it was $810. And then they did my personal glasses for half price. So I put the fucking expensive glasses through the business and got my personal glasses for $400.
This sounds a lot like financial advice.
It's not financial advice. It's definitely not tax advice. So I now have a pair of prescription safety glasses because what was happening was I was working in the brewery, and so I've got multifocals because these are just reading glasses, right? And they're my first pair of glasses, and so the go is that what I was doing in the brewery is I'd wear safety glasses when I'm on site. But if I needed to look down and read or, you know, do something on Beer 30 or something like that, I would have to take my safety glasses off, put my reading glasses on. These aren't safety glasses at all. These are scratched because I've dropped them on bloody brewery floors and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I went, well, fuck it. Why don't I just get prescription multifocal safety glasses? And I'm set.
Well, where are they?
I've ordered them. They're being manufactured.
Oh, okay. So
when I get them, I'll wear my safety glasses.
Yes, that's where I was going. Okay, good. All right. Angus Grant said, "Put them on." I was the same. I was like,
I haven't got them yet. I haven't got them yet.
Them.
Give me a break. They're probably another week or so away, I think. So.
All right. Before we get into Phil's question and 12 questions,
got furniture advice there from Dwayne Thomas. Amart and IKEA. You should definitely hit up IKEA. It's good shit.
Yep. Okay. I will. No, we're getting some furniture advice. That's
except
good.
You got to put it together.
No, I get Airtasker.
Or you can get. Do Airtasker. That's a good idea.
All right. Before we get into the questions, Juicy Fest.
Mm.
By the way, I'm in Brisbane this weekend, and I just didn't actually realize it, and I have no plans to go to this festival. But
why did you come to the festival?
Well, because I had no plans to go, and I didn't even realize I was in Brisbane.
Why don't you make plans now?
Hey,
why don't you make plans now?
Well, because I've got other plans, mate.
Oh,
like how's it work? You tell me about it, and then
okay. So Juicy Festival, I think it's run by good people at Range Brewing, and so all of the Australia's hype Hazeboy fucking breweries are going to be there. So it's going to be Range, Deeds, Banks, all the other. That's the only ones I know.
Yeah.
And so rather than going to the festival and having to pay for drinks. It's one price, get you all your beers in there. So you don't have to put your hand in your pocket once you're in there. Dangerous if you're old hendo. I don't know. We'll find out.
Juicy Fest. This Juicy Festival. This is a different. I just googled it. It's definitely
not the one that's like the R&B festival.
Okay, that's why I was like, "There's Nelly." I'm like, "That's fucking awesome." All right, Google provided me of no help at all, so I'm just gonna not do that. All right.
And so yeah, Juicy Fest. It's at the Fortitude Music Hall, and
cracking venue.
Cracking venue. Yeah, I saw Auntie Donna there. It was hilarious.
Don't know who that is.
It's a comedy group,
Brilliant.
sketch comedy group. Have you never seen Auntie Donna?
Auntie Donna.
Okay, on Netflix, right? There's a show called Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Okay.
Just watch it and then come back and tell me what you think.
Is this like homework, funny. Like a BrewDog episode?
It's your homework. I've got my homework. You got your homework.
Okay.
Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun.
Is this going to be like the homework where
only
I
five
had to like organize a brew date for us and I kind of...
No. You can sit on your couch and fucking do it straight after this. It's hilarious.
All right.
You don't piss your pants. There's something wrong with your sense of humor.
Okay. Well, that's definitely true.
And so anyway, so at the Juicy Festival, it's basically you don't have to pay for beers. All of the Hazy Boy breweries are there. That's why it's called Juicy.
I got that.
But I will probably be in the lager lounge because they have a lager lounge.
They do. That's got your name written all over it. What kind of lagers do they have in the lager lounge? Not Hollandia, not that kind of.
No, there won't be Hollandia. It'll probably be a Deeds one. I paid $12 for a 500ml can of Deeds fucking lager, Ellis.
It's good.
I felt foolish for spending $12 on a can of fucking.
How much you spent on the Juicy ticket?
$70. Goes for 4 hours. The only thing I've got a concern about is whenever you have these festivals that are all you can drink, the queues tend to be quite long.
How do you even do like I know I've been to ones before and they have been outstanding where it's like a taster thing. You have a taster from each place. That Stone and Wood one was their backyard invitational one. We were invited to one year. We did that one. It was the fucking best event we ever did. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But how can you actually even do that? Like with all the RSA laws, like how can you have an event where you drink as much as you want? Like,
I'll tell you how RSA it is at the end. Man, I've been locked up in the house in COVID ISO.
You're going to send it fucking aggressively and through.
Absolutely, I'm going to fucking send it.
All right. Do you reckon any of the 12 are going to be there? Or
if there are any of the 12 there, just come and tap us on the shoulder and say hi.
I took my shirts to Gabs.
I should wear my dry hopping shirt. I don't have a dry hopping shirt. I think I'm going to need to wear a dry hopping shirt to this thing.
Well, we've actually got
since
merch.
All the beers are dry hopped.
Okay, that's true. Well, we've got merch. If you want merch, I'll give you the merch. I can't come because
I've seen a Black Hops. Have you got a Black Hops dry hopping shirt?
No, we've got the fucking Boston the Brewer t-shirts, mate.
Oh, I've already got mine. I'm going to wear mine.
I know, but to
I
give
might go
away
and buy a
to
dry
our
hopping shirt.
legion of fans that are going to come up and see you and idolize you and be like, oh, that's the guy.
Oh, do you want me to give some away?
Yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
Okay.
If people are actually coming.
Yeah, well, if they're going, we'll let us know in the bloody Facebook. Oh, Phil's going. Phil Sharp says he's going.
Because I took...
Day session. I'll be at the day session.
What time's that?
Midday or something. Which means I'll be passed out on my couch by 5. That's fine. Same as Gabs.
We should do a podcast afterwards. It can be like a field trip. There's been a lot of requests for another field trip.
A field trip?
So, yeah. Yep. All right.
Let's go. Yes, if you are at Juicy, come say hi. It would be great to see you.
Yeah, and there's probably no free merch because that just sounds like it was way too hard.
Yeah.
12
questions.
What's wow, Jesus. I'm just going back through the thread because I know Phil asked a question about okay. Oh God, this is fun. This thread's fun, but not.
Isn't it great seeing it live?
It is cool. Phil had a question in here. Here we go. Can a new brewery raise equity through crowdfunding with no real brand awareness?
That's the what is it called? Future
Magic.
Future Magic.
They're opening in our street at Brizzy.
Yeah. If they do, good on them. I've you know me, I've got my opinion about crowdfunding and breweries. Why someone would want to invest in a brewery that has no trading history, I don't know.
Well, every brewery that exists
That's a massive.
had people that invested in it without trading history.
What's that?
Every brewery that exists now had people invest in them without trading history.
Yeah, but crowdfunded?
Well, how do you define crowdfunding? I mean, they were investors that didn't know.
Well, no, but going virtual and doing a public EOI.
It's investing.
Well, of course, it's investing, but that's some serious angel investing shit going on right there. Now, I know people behind it. Sean, great guy, and that sort of thing, and you know, I just, you know, it's very, I suppose, presumptuous, to sort of go crowdfunding before you've even made a drop of beer.
I'm sorry. We were just talking about a company before that was launched with this tracking technology that was going to change the game, and they launched without the technology.
Yeah.
And that was startup-y and cool.
Yeah.
And now...
Well, that's different. Yeah, being startup-y. No, being startup-y and cool is not the same as having your hand out for money.
But they've all got their hand out. Konvoy had their hand out for money without any.
Yeah,
technology.
but privately, not. They're not on fucking. They've never been on virtual.
Why does it matter that it's via an email as opposed to via a website?
I don't know. Just.
I'll answer the question. The question is, can they raise money without having a product? The answer is, let's fucking find out, and we'll know, and it'll be great because it'll be public, and we'll find out.
Fair enough.
That's it.
I guess that's my, you know, my not being a fan of crowdfunding of breweries probably kicking in.
But I think it's a good question because no one's done it before in this format. So let's find out. Let's find out if there's a market for build a brand. Do you think you can do it? I don't know. Like before BrewDog did crowdfunding, no one had done it. And before anything happened, no one had done it. Let's see if you can do it. I think to seriously answer the question, I think it would be very, very difficult.
Of course.
Yeah. To get people around an idea when they have never drunk the product, that they haven't come and felt the feeling that you feel. Or
felt
a bit
touchy-feely with the brand and that sort of thing. It's ballsy.
It's going to be
absolutely
ballsy. It's going to be super tough. But I'm here for it. I'm here.
And I tell you what,
see,
if you go equity crowdfunding without making a drop of beer better be fucking good.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
Oh, I love this question. So this question's 2 hours ago from Paul Simpson, who is someone who definitely invested in a business before it had a product because he is our first investor. His question is, why didn't you go live again?
Well, here we fucking are.
Here we fucking are. Does that answer your question?
Fucking earth. Here we are.
How do you like me now?
Live as shit.
How do you like them apples? Do you think he likes apples?
He's going to be drinking cider.
Okay. He's definitely drinking cider. Oh God, I've lost this live fucking thing again. Are you keeping an eye on the live chat things? Because mine are, I've lost it. They're gone. I love that question though.
Did it start with question, Colin?
No, there was a question mark in. Elon. Wait, Elon's barking. I'm going to spray him with a water hose. Stop. You're a bad. Oh, fuck, I got him right in the face. Sorry, Bubba. Sorry. I feel bad now. Sorry. That was a very accurate shot.
It's only bad if you put vinegar in there instead of water.
No, it's water. It's water. Sorry, Bubba. Sorry. All right. Luke Cooper. Question. At what speed should I listen to for an upcoming long-haul flight? Well, that's a good question.
Ooh. If you're trying to kill time, just 1.0.
But you can't do slower? Can you do 0.75 or you can't?
Yeah, but I don't know.
It's a long flight.
It's a long flight. No. I get bored with the
I get
slow
bored
pace.
too.
I think 1.0 would be the slowest, but of course, if you want to be true to the Boss and the Brewer, multiple of 12, you listen to it at 1.2 speed, or get the fuck out.
Yeah. I'll give you my routine with podcasts and flying. I'll listen to a podcast all the way driving to the airport, and then I'll go to the bar at the Gold Coast Airport and get a Bolter XPA.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm there, I'll talk to people around me because I'm traveling with people from work normally. Then I'll put my AirPods in. I'll listen to a podcast all the way onto the flight while I'm sitting for the flight to take off. And then just before it takes off, I'll take them off because you can't hear shit. And then when I'm live flying, I will put on a TV show because you can't just sit there and do nothing and listen to a podcast. It's like super boring. Mm-hmm. But if I get sleepy, I'll then put the podcast on because I can close my eyes and there's a very slim chance I'll fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's my routine. But I wouldn't just listen to a podcast like a straight savage by itself on a flight, like, and just stare at the seat in front of you, which is what he's implying.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not looking at anything, you're just listening to something. Where are you looking?
Mm.
What about you? What's your like if you were to fly to Melbourne, what are you doing?
So my flight routine is pretty cruisy. I love it because I'm gold virgin frequent flyer. About to hit platinum next week. It's gonna be fucking sick. And so for me, flying is a very low stress, low cost proposition because of the gold status. So basically, if I'm flying to Melbourne, there's a flight between Brisbane and Melbourne every hour. Okay. And so what I do is I buy the red eye ticket because it's the cheapest, right? And then as part of one of the perks of gold status is you get a thing called fly forward. And so I can rock up to the airport, and if there's a seat on an earlier flight, they'll put me on the earlier flight. Okay. And so best case scenario, right? So basically what that means is when I feel like going to the airport on the day I go, right? I don't have to be there by a certain time. So there's no stress about being there. Don't worry about traffic, nothing. All right. I'm just 100% relaxed. I get to the airport. And if I don't have any checked baggage, I will skip the fucking check-in queue. And even if I have to go to the check-in counter, I'm in the priority queue and there's no queue anyway. I go straight to the lounge, and at the lounge, I can go and check in and ask for the fly forward. Best case scenario, I get where I'm going earlier. Worst case scenario, I sit in the lounge and drink free piss.
What kind of piss? The Hollandia? Or?
No, it depends where you are. So they're all CUB. So here in Brizzy, it's Bolter. In
nice.
Adelaide, it's Pirate Life. In Melbourne, it is Goat.
That works.
And it's that's how I fly. And so yeah, it's I love it. And it's a bloody good program. And next week I'll have enough status credits to go. At the start of the year, I was looking like losing my gold status altogether. And now I'm about to go platinum. And that means that I get free business class upgrades.
Oh, I like that.
I can do the fly forward thing and bump people off the flight.
Who are you bumping off the flight? Like the last minute ones.
Some pleb.
Jesus, you're a straight up narcissist.
Like, you don't get this way. Just Elon Musk didn't get where he was going by not being a nice guy, did he?
Wow, James Watt didn't either.
No, well, there you go. That's me.
You're the James Watt of Australia.
Of flying on Virgin, fucking oath. So if you get bumped, it'll be me.
Oh, that's savage.
Bumping your ass. And so that's why I love it. And it's just good. It's just such a stress-free way to fly. It really is. It's just so worth it.
All right. Well, that's great advice. There's no such thing as a stress-free way to enter into an arrangement where if things go wrong, you're fucking guaranteed to die. If things go right, it'll be fucking awful. You'll be stuck inside a box for 3 hours and it'll be scary. The whole idea of flying is fucking stupid.
Oh, it's dumb. Yeah.
It should be illegal.
But it's hilarious though, because you see on the TV at the moment, like people are complaining about the long queues at the airport. I don't have to deal with that shit. It's fucking great.
That's obnoxious. Just stop it.
Hey, no. If we go flying together, I can take a friend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, now we're talking. Fuck everyone else. All right.
I wanted to say before we sign off, thank you to Adam Shell, not that one, the other one.
The other one.
For dropping in the care package for me whilst I was in COVID ISO. And by God, fucking cabin fever was horrendous. And COVID fucking sucks, I'm just going to say.
Okay.
And I'm still not 100%. And but I'm negative, be out in the world and all that sort of stuff. But I'm sick of fucking sticking things up my fucking nose, and just the lack of energy at the moment. But anyway, I couldn't have gotten through the week without Adzi. He fired up his smoker on the Saturday, and then brought around all these smoked meats and smoked veggies. And some ice cream because I can't go a day in my life without ice cream.
No, I can tell.
He bought $12 worth of scratchies.
Love that.
And I didn't win anything, unfortunately. If I won $12, it would have been sick.
That'd been cool.
But I didn't win anything, unfortunately. And what else? Oh, and a can of Jack Daniels.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Nice.
A Gentleman Jack. And I'd never had it. I felt really posh having Gentleman Jack. And
Gentleman Jack's legit.
I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I like the OG Jack Daniels.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I did too.
And so thank you, Adzi. You're a fucking star. And
that's cool.
That
is very cool. Angus Grant says, I'm loving, okay, there's not much left, to be honest, but Angus Grant says, I'm loving the live Facebook. Can Hendo reenact field trip for next week?
Next week. I don't think so. Next week, I will be up at 3:00 in the morning to get the 5 a.m. flight to Adelaide. So that's going to be a negative for next week. But I am in Adelaide next week for the Beer and Barbecue Festival.
Oh, yes.
So that's on next week. And nice. Looking forward to it. Smith Street Band are playing, one of my favorite bands.
That's cool.
So that should be really good. And yeah, if you're one of the 12 and you're in Adelaide, come and fucking tap me on the shoulder.
Nice. That'll be fun. All right, one more. Oh, here we go. Adam Shell. I don't think that's a fucking different Adam Shell. Oh, fuck me dead. I think he just changed his profile picture.
Which one?
He's got a blue profile picture. That's new, isn't it? No, it's the same Adam Shell. All right.
Yeah, he's changed his profile picture.
He's changed. Okay, fine.
What do you say?
Is the recent cold weather affecting any brewers' fermentation cycles?
Oh, that's an excellent question. It's cold here in Queensland at the moment, but it's only 11 degrees.
Yeah,
it's not that
minimum.
cold. So when I was brewing in Victoria at Otway Estate at Prickly Moses, we had this really interesting thing where we could, you know how on a cylindrical conical vessel you've got the jacket on the cone and the jacket on the cylinder, the glycol jackets.
Yes.
All right. And so the one on the cone is separate to the one on the cylinder, bottom and the top jacket. And so what we had there was we could swing a couple of valves on the glycol lines to switch the cone from glycol cooling to a hot water loop, right? And basically it was just basically a closed loop, copper loop with a heater on it, and it would run at maybe 25, 30 degrees Celsius, this loop. And by heating the cone, because of convection, hot things rise. And we would keep glycol on the cylinder to cool, so the tanks couldn't get too hot. But that helped to maintain the temperature. And we could brew saison at 30 degrees in the middle of winter. So is it a problem here in Queensland? Fuck no. In Victoria or other colder climates, yes, it can be. And there are some ways around that.
All right. Queensland's just the same temperature all year round, pretty much.
Exactly. It's very cold, but this apartment is fucking cold.
My house is cold as shit too.
I haven't got a heater, and
Yeah.
so I'm getting air conditioning before the summer. So
nice. You don't need much, just that little sneaky little split system will cover the whole joint.
Yeah, I'm going to get one in the lounge room and one in the master bedroom, and the one that's here, I'll just leave it. The window system that I got.
I've got like where I am at the moment. It's a little duplex in Varsity Lakes. I don't know why it's fucking freezing cold house. I don't really know why, but
because we don't build houses in Queensland for the cold.
Yeah, I suppose, but it's not that old. It's like Varsity's like 90s, I suppose. Like it's like an old.
Yeah, we don't design houses for the cold.
Yeah,
and 11 degrees is not cold, right? If you were in Melbourne, that would be just a normal winter night, and you'd be cozy, fucking warm.
Yeah,
we just don't insulate our houses up here for the winter. We build them for the warmer months.
Yeah. Well, I've got a air conditioner at the side of my house that is just the oldest thing you've ever seen. And I could show you. It probably, I don't know if you'd be able to see it. But
is it a window one?
It's not the window one, but it's like. Wait, where can you see that? Where? There. You can't. Can you see that?
Yeah, it's in the wall.
There?
Yeah, it's
on the wall.
Yeah.
But it's so, and that's the thing. Like it works.
Noisy.
But it's so loud.
Yeah.
It's impossibly loud. Like you can't, if you're watching something, forget about it.
Well, that's why you have split systems, because the noisy thing goes outside and you can't hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you got air conditioning in the Dansion?
Ducted zone.
Sick.
Yeah. That's what I'm working with. So there's that. Yep. Your priority is traveling fancy. I'm going to just stay at home in my own Virgin Lounge.
In the Dansion.
And just get comfortably temperaturized.
You need a robot to bring beers to you.
Well, Elon's about to launch one in the next couple of months. The robot that does mundane tasks. So that's some mundane tasks.
Yeah.
What's more mundane than going to the fridge, getting a beer, and walking and giving it to you?
Nothing.
Humanoid robot. I'll fucking buy it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
All right, that's it. I think we're done.
Well, good to talk to you, man.
You too, mate. First live stream. I think that went pretty well.
I think we did okay.
Yeah.
Should
we get if people have feedback on the
feedback? Yeah, format? Leave feedback in the group. Did you like the live stream or not? Should we keep doing it or not? And if not, fuck yes, we won't do it. Yeah, because if people are mostly listening by audio, it might be annoying to just like listen to us. Well, it might affect our stats for the pod and the YouTube and everything. So that's true, and the stats are very. We don't have to live stream to the Facebook group. We can you could live stream to YouTube. Yeah, but no one's looking at YouTube, are they? Well, exactly. Facebook's good. It's just it's like if it's annoying to the people who listen to the audio. That's yeah. Hit us up. How would we even know if they can email us or email us? Facebook group. Facebook.com/groups/Boss and the Brewer. Yep. Hit us up. All right. Cheers, mate. Good Catch you next week. Have fun at Juicy Fest. I might see you. I might be like around the corner. I might. Yeah, come say hi. I'm actually staying in the valley. I'm just around the corner. All right, come say hi. Message me after it's over when you finish your field trip and you want to hang out. Have a beer? Okay. Yeah, all right, we'll do. All right. Cheers, mate. Love your work.